Hello, and welcome to my 700th video on my YouTube channel. Yeah, that's mental. For my 600th, being the 100th below 700, last time I checked, I did a review of the 2006 Doctor Who annual, so obviously I thought I'd do the review of the 2007 one for my 700th video. My god, is that mental to me that I've got 700 videos on YouTube now of this recording, and also, wow, it feels like centuries ago and eons ago that 2007 was a thing. As looking at this cover, I'm not 100% sure why it's done in this way. I mean, I love this, the fact that, you know, you can move the book and, you know, move it from Chris Eccleston to David Tennant, to Chris Eccleston to David Tennant. But, but I don't know why they've gone with this image, because last time I checked, the show came back in 2005, so then wouldn't that be back end of 2005? The Christmas special was done in 2006 then. So why is the previous one called 2006 and this one's 2007? It's all very confusing. But yeah, so I am a bit baffled as to why they've done this cover, but I do love it. I do love the cover, as I do love the episode Parting of the Ways. You've got the Doctor Who logo. Oh, that lovely logo. I love that logo. That has to be one of my favourite logos of Doctor Who of all time. I just love the fact that it's got this like burning effect in the background, and the way Doctor Who, you know, the text is very simplistic, but the thing at the back always catches my eye or my attention, you know, like you could be really far away and just see this on a shelf, and if it was like sort of displayed this way, you'd probably levitate to that. You've got the BBC logo, you've got the official annual 2007. Sorry for the shaky camera, it's just sometimes my hand spasms a bit. But yeah, and then you've got this border, and then this lenticular sort of thing of, yeah, David and Chris, and then you've got the same information on the spine pretty much. And then on the back you've got sort of that same thing that was on the front, but these aren't lenticular, and the Sycorax, Dalek, and Cyberman, which is cool. Retailed for $6.99 apparently. Whether or not it's worth that now is another thing, or if it's more than that now, I don't know. Doctor Who across 2 pages, the contents thing, Meet the Doctor, stuff about the Doctor, and all that. Friends and old, or friends old and new even. You know, so you got Rose Tyler, bio on her, Sarah Jane Smith, K9, and Madame de Pompadour. Then you go on to the next page with Mickey, Jackie Tyler, Pete Tyler, and Harriet Jones. Then you've got this sort of quiz game thing. You got a little thing about Cassandra, and you got this thing that me and my brother probably filled out. That's how long ago it was. Like, we used to actually fill out the annuals because we were kids then. Now I'm an old man. Oh god, this is scaring me. But I'm having a midlife crisis, even if I'm not at the middle of my life. But yeah, and then you've got a comic strip thing, which is interesting. Krillitane bio, some stuff on K9 and some other stuff and things, stuff about planets and the solar system, and that, and a quiz, I think. The Ood, a bio on them. Interior of the TARDIS, that looks so amazing. I love that TARDIS interior. I grew up with that one. I do really love the new one though. The new one is pretty badass as well. I know a lot of people really don't like that TARDIS interior. A lot of people complain that it looks too much like sort of coral reef like thing. Like, yeah, like those look too much like coral and underwater theme and that. But I just like the cobbled together nature of the centerpiece, to be honest, more than anything. I'm not too fussed about these things. I don't particularly like, but I do love that, the main sort of centerpiece, and the backdrop, and the grilled sort of flooring and that. But yeah, then you got a puzzle game thing, more puzzly stuff on the Slovene, and that, another comic strip. I think, comparing this from what I remember of the previous one, the 2006 one, I think this one, they'd figured out that their main demographic, of course, were kids who were purchasing these, and therefore, sort of, unfortunately, don't want to say dumbed down the book, but definitely watered it down with a lot more sort of childlike things for kids, which isn't a bad thing. I'm all for, making merchandise for kids, because at the end of the day, they're the people who are probably going to be buying it, but then, well, they're not, though, either. That's the problem. They're going to be nagging their parents to buy this, but then it's the parents who will be paying for it more than likely, and yeah, so it's finding that balance, and something that might interest kids, but also maybe interest an adult as well, because with the previous release, you've got that really interesting story, which I still haven't even read, which is the Ninth Doctor and that Sally Sparrow type story, which was a precursor to Blink, in the 2006 annual. That's what Stephen Moffat wrote Blink in that book, almost. It wasn't called Blink, and it was something else. It was like The Day I Met Sally Sparrow, I think it was called that. And basically, he did that, and then, adapted it into Blink, and, it's like, and even the comic strips, even though they are the 10th Doctor, or they have the 10th Doctor in it, and therefore 10th Doctor stories, they look very really childlike and that, and there's a lot of sort of puzzles and sort of just childlike games and stuff, which is good if obviously you're a kid who's buying this, but otherwise, if you're a teen, young adult and that, then you might want to stay clear of this one, but at the end of the day, it's, more than likely a teen or an adult would be buying this purely for sort of collection purposes, I'm assuming, and that. So, but yeah, I would recommend it for those of you who are big fans of the 10th Doctor and like collecting the annuals, and for some reason you haven't bought the 2007 one. It's a must-have in your collection, of course. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.